2-0 to the Carolina Hurricanes as they lose to Carolina in Game 2 on a shorthanded goal by former Ranger Brendan Smith. So, really, this was a game where the Rangers did not get many chances at all, and Carolina just shut it down. And there's a lot to say. For me, that's really how you protect a 1-0 lead as well. Whereas the Rangers weren't able to shut it down, but chances are few and far between for both teams. What's really problematic is, and we knew this, is the Rangers' power play. It just can't get anything done against the Carolina penalty kill. It's kryptonite. Really, they cannot generate chances. It's to the point where, and the Rangers have had a great power play all season long, was really good in the Penguin series, but it's, if you had the option to decline, I would have declined. And Brendan Smith scores. It was a 4-minute power play for the Rangers. And I didn't think that they'd necessarily give up a shortened goal, but I said before the power play happened, watch Carolina get more quality chances than the Rangers. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, even before Smith scored, that was the case. But it's just amazing that Brendan Smith is the one. There's a lot of former Rangers on Carolina, so naturally, they might perform. But for him to get the only goal, a shorthanded goal at that, is just not what you want. Antti Raanta gets the shutout, but Raanta was barely tested. Whereas Game 1, I felt like Raanta made some key saves. Game 2, he was not tested at all. The Rangers really needed to win Game 1. I'll say it again. That was a missed opportunity. And if you're 1-1, that's as good as it was going to get. You were never going to win both games in Carolina. I don't care what it was. That was never going to happen. That still hurts, where you had that opportunity to take Game 1. It didn't happen. And yes, there's something to be said for the fact the Rangers, the shots were 22-21. The Rangers defensively were playing well, but I almost feel like if this game got opened up, I think the Rangers, that wouldn't have worked out either. I think any style, you want to go against Carolina, I don't think would have worked. So it's easy to say, oh, the defense said, well, yes, but that's also because of the score. Carolina didn't need to do anything. If Carolina really needed to ramp up and do something, they would have. I believe that. And really what it comes down to is the Rangers' top performers are not getting it done. The people that are supposed to be the best players are absolutely no-shows, complete no-shows. Artemi Panarin, I don't even know what to say. Panarin he's been a detriment. Simply put, he's been a detriment. And the shortened goal by Smith, it's another one of those goals where just about everyone messes up on the play. Panarin was, I think, the initial person that gives up the puck on that goal. But Artemi Panarin, just brutal. Chris Kreider, took a penalty. Was it one penalty or two penalties for Kreider in this one? It was 2 penalties for Kreider in this game, and just that net front presence is not there. They're really shutting Kreider down. And, Ryan Strome, of course, isn't doing much of anything. The one good thing is once the season ends, it likely means the end of Ryan Strome as a Ranger. So that's something good. But yeah, Mika Zibanejad, Jordan Staal has really been able to shut him down. And so with Mika, again, we know what Mika is capable of, and that's what hurts so much. I mean, he can really take over a series. But that just has not happened. And we can go, on and on. I thought the kids played well. You know what? Alexis Lafreniere stands out for me as someone who I really like. When I see him on the ice and I see the puck on the field, I'm thinking, all right, Lafreniere might be the one to do something. He is someone that I've been very impressed with. And I think when it's all said and done, hopefully Lafreniere in a few years, he's the guy. He is the guy. And I think that's very realistic. Again, what is he, 20 years old? I mean, still super young, but I've been impressed by him. And why is Tyler Mott not getting more ice time? Tyler Mott got under 10 minutes. He needs to be playing more. And Ryan Reeves only played 744. And I don't want this to be an anti-Reeves thing. It's not about that, but maybe he shouldn't play game 3. You do need a little more speed. I don't think he's necessarily the Carolina series. It just doesn't make Reeves in this type of series. It's useless for me. Knowing Gallant, though, I think he kind of sticks with, for at least start game 3. I think he probably sticks with the same lines. It'll be interesting to see in practice what they do. We're starting to reach the point now where maybe things get juggled, but I think he likes to he has that steady hand. I think he sticks with what it is. I think it's going to stay the same lines, same players. But I think if they do struggle, I think in game he might make the quick. I mean, he might be very quick to change things up. I think at least that might happen. But I think to start, it's going to be what it's been. And with Gallant, you want to see some adjustments. It's hard to go against him because there's been times when I've been down on him, and he just stays very, very even keel. Not too high, not too low. At least with the media, and the Rangers have come through time and time again, but. I just, this was a game where the depth players did not play a whole lot. Whereas last game we did see some more of Schneider Braun. We did see some of the fourth line, and the Rangers were losing. So that was a good reason for it. But, Schneider played less than 10 minutes. Braun played a little bit more than 10 minutes. Kakko didn't play all that much, honestly. So it's just tough. Game 1 is the one that really stings. Kakko has an open net and shoots it wide. He scores there, and the whole vibe is completely different. Where you're upset about a Game 2 loss, but it's mission accomplished. You got the split. It just didn't happen. And so now the Rangers come home, needing to win 2 games. You got to take it one game at a time. And the Boston Carolina series, Boston won all their home games. But I don't think we can just say, all right, that happened, so now, the Rangers are set. No, the Rangers, it will not be easy. It will not be easy. I think the Rangers will play a little bit better. I do. I think the crowd will definitely fire them up. But Igor's been very good. And so that's a good thing where Igor did struggle, certainly at points with the Penguins. Ever since late in that series, he's back to, to normal Igor. So that's a good thing. Maybe there is that game. And it kind of would be more likely at the Garden where maybe Igor steals one, where maybe you win 1-0 or 2-1 and Shesterkin makes a ton of saves and you kind of hang on. And I could see that. I could, where the Rangers maybe get outplayed, but they win. But either way, this game, there was a couple of 4-on-4s to start out. And I thought that was a good thing for the Rangers, who I don't really trust them 5-on-5 versus Carolina. Although, to be fair, I guess on the score sheet, it was, nothing 5-on-5 in this one. But Smith and Rooney go off for roughing penalties. And then 3 minutes later, Hedl and Smith go off. And then during this, Sebastian Aho high sticks Trouba. So it's a 4-on-3 for about 40 to 50 seconds. And that's where you got to come through. And the Rangers are just passing it around like they didn't even get anything through to Raanta. I'm not sure if any shots even got through to him. Blocks and overpassing. That's where you really mess up. 5-on-4, I can understand. 4-on-3, you got to come through there. And then the Rangers got another power play as Tony DeAngelo slashes Andrew Kopp, and the Rangers do nothing. So it's scoreless going into the second. And shots on goal in each period were just super minimal. It was crazy. But I thought the Ranger first period was okay. Honestly, the second period, Carolina was the better team. Chris Kreider slashes Jacob Slavin, but the Rangers kill it off. And then Brady Shea, former Ranger Brady Shea, it's a double minor for high sticking to Alexis Lafreniere. In hindsight, I wish it was just a 2-minute penalty because the Rangers on the first half do nothing. And then eventually the goal happens. It's Brendan Smith on a great pass by Sebastian Aho. Sebastian Aho, who has really destroyed the Rangers in recent years. Aho's great. Sebastian Aho is, for me, the best player on the Carolina Hurricanes, certainly forward-wise, and makes a nice pass to Smith, and he scores. And, Panarin loses the puck. Kreider, could have done a better job in the offensive zone. Zibanejad gets a little bit too aggressive and puts Fox in a bit of a tough spot. But Fox played it terribly. Adam Fox was, either go after Aho or go back. I mean, he was in total no man's land. That was very poorly defended by Adam Fox. It's really this falls on the top players. It's not, I think Panarin for me is the number one guy. But like I said, Panarin, Strome, Kreider, Zibanejad, Fox, Trouba, it's really that's where the blame falls, is the top players, 100%. Give the Rangers some credit. There was a little bit of adversity where things could have completely fallen apart. Kevin Rooney takes a boarding penalty, and then Kreider another slashing penalty. So there was a 5-on-3 for Carolina for over a minute. And the Rangers kill it all off. So they go into the third, still down 1-0. But Carolina completely locks it down. Rangers only get 8 shots on goal in the third. That's what you do. It was surgical, kind of like how the Rangers' first 2 periods were, which was an anomaly. I knew the Rangers' first 2 periods against Carolina. I was like, I was so shocked and pleasantly surprised, but it stung that they just only scored 1 goal. 1 goal for the Rangers in 2 games. That's just not going to cut it. Rangers, they fought hard in some ways. Didn't really have great chances, and eventually, with about a second left, Panarin just passes it to Aho, fittingly, and Aho gets the empty net goal to give Carolina the 2-0 win. And so, look, the series isn't over, but I just think you look at it, and I never wanted to play Carolina. Carolina more than anyone I didn't want to play, even Tampa. I would have preferred the Tampa Bay Lightning. I really would have. I would have. Would it have gone well? Probably not, honestly. But I think Carolina is the exact matchup that the Rangers did not want to have. You really miss a guy like Barclay Goodrow and Sammy Blais to a lesser extent. But I think those 2 guys, you need guys that can really grind it out and win those board battles and play that physical game and really, push back. And so Goodrow, I think the only way he comes back in this series, I think, is if it maybe goes 6 or 7. Then even then, I feel like we won't see him. But yeah, again, all hope is not completely lost. Rangers have not played a home game yet. The crowd will be into it. I think the Rangers will play better, but the Rangers are not going to win this series. It's a matter of really how many games the Rangers can win. If you could somehow get this back to Game 5 tied 2-2, that would be amazing. It's not completely out of the realm of possibility, but the Rangers have really dug themselves a hole. They've been resilient all year long, so I'd expect a good effort and some improved play. But, Carolina's no joke, especially just defensively. It's hard for the Rangers to really get much going, but you hope the crowd can kind of get them into it, take an early lead, and just and hold it. That's whereas taking a lead in the Pittsburgh series did not mean anything. Taking a lead against Carolina is very vital. You fall behind against them and you're in trouble. If the Rangers can get that early 1-0 lead, or maybe even 2-0, you can then win that game, because Carolina, offensively, they're good. But if you have the lead and you can play a smart defensive game, they are beatable in individual games, especially in MSG. So we'll see what happens. Again, a tough loss. It's the former Ranger, Brendan Smith, with the game-winning shorthanded goal. And the Rangers head home down 2-0.